Hi everyone.
Good morning.
And welcome back. Thank you so much for all the likes and subscribes and all the comments we've received.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, and it really helps us to grow the channel, hopefully, and give you content that you want to see.
Yes, so today besides cherry picking, we doing some harvesting.
Yeah, we're gonna take out some of the beetroot to pickle and to make space for some new crops that we can plant.
And some kohlrabi.
Yeah, the one we bought thinking it was beetroot.
It's a cabbage for those who don't know.
On the picture,
like
it looked like a beetroot though. So,
it definitely did. So we're harvesting those and some peas. And then just some chores around the farm.
Are you going to take the carrots and the garlic out?
Yes, that needs to come out too. We need to make some space.
Yeah, we've got new things that need to be planted.
Yes, so hope you guys enjoy.
Yes.
Nice and hot.
Quite warm.
So over here we have some squashes.
Yeah, James squash from South Africa.
They're looking good.
Yeah, they're starting. Sunflowers. I think these are the giant ones.
Yes. And we have some cabbage and trying to grow some corn.
yeah, that's good.
Neither of us have had green fingers before. Or maybe you a little bit.
Not for veggies.
But me, definitely not.
We've got a few volunteer potatoes coming up as well. A couple of them dotted around, coming up from ones that we missed in the previous harvest. And the volunteer potatoes are always welcome.
For sure.
Yeah, we love potatoes. If you get a bonus, ones that you didn't plant,
even better.
Intentionally, even better. Bonus.
over here we have some more squash, a variety of beans, pumpkins, cucumber, some onions, and we have over here some tomatoes, a variety as well, some lettuce, and then these are pepper trees that we uprooted from last year's crop, and they seem to be doing pretty well. Already getting little flowers, so let's see what happens. Time for a drink break.
Thanks.
It's warm today. Wow, good job.
That's nice. Is that the mint and lemon one?
How good is that?
Very nice cold.
Wow, it's extremely warm today.
It's getting very hot here.
Look at our harvest.
Woohoo!
Sure. Wow.
It's getting up there. It's not quite in the height that is yet, but it'll get there soon enough, I'm sure. So the beetroot that we harvested this morning, we're going to pickle it because there's no way we're going to eat all of this beetroot at once. I'm just going to give it a wash. Let me just clean this out so I've got some clean to put it in. Since it's such a beautiful day today, we decided to do this outside when the temperature has dropped all the way down to 26 degrees. So we're just going to wash the beetroot nicely.
Some good looking beetroots over there.
Yeah, the small ones I think I'll put in halfway through so they don't overcook. So we'll wash them all. Once we got them washed, I'm just gonna see my assistant's already done a pot of water for me. I'm just gonna put them in here. So I think instead of putting them in later in boiling water, we'll bring them up together and then we'll just check when they're tender and pull the small ones out ahead of time. So I'm just gonna get that going. So we just make sure everything's covered. We're just going to bring that up to a boil and then boil them until they're tender. Just on my way to go get a few bay leaves for the pickling process. We were lucky enough to find a bay leaf tree when we arrived on the farm. And here we are. I think that should do it. We're getting for the kohlrabi and for the beetroot, so maybe another one. Let's see. What a lovely evening. So while the beetroot is bubbling away, we're just gonna do the kohlrabi. Gonna just peel off the leafy goods, the root bits. Once they're peeled, we're going to just cut them into matchsticks. Okay, so those beetroots have cooked down now. They're nice and tender, so we're just going to take them all out. So once we've got them all out, Natalia will take them inside and rinse them in some cold water, and then we're just going to let them cool so we can peel them and cut them into pieces. And the peel's already coming off nicely.
Such a pretty color, a rich color.
Yeah, I know next time we should probably keep the roots and some of the stem on to not lose as much, but we did it this way last time, and to us it still has a lot of flavor and color left in them. So we're going to start the pickling brine for the kohlrabi. We're just going to put some vinegar, which is not open yet, some water. I'm going to do about a cup and a half. Let's see, about a cup and a half of water, and about the same of vinegar. We're using white wine vinegar. You can use almost any vinegar that you like. Red wine vinegar also works nicely, or apple cider. I'll just get that little bit out of there first. Cup. And a half. And then I'm going to go in with a few teaspoons of sea salt. Maybe say 3. And then 2.5 tablespoons of honey. And we're just going to bring that up to a boil and let it go for about 5 minutes. Into the rest of the kohlrabi that we've sliced into little matchsticks. If you don't get them as perfect as I did, just joking, none of them are perfect. So yeah, basically roughly chopped. Then we're gonna use a little bit of fresh garlic, just slice that finely. Get that bit. And I've got just one dried chili. I think this is a cayenne, but I could be completely wrong. I'm just gonna chop that little pieces.
Church bells going.
That must be the hour.
9 o'clock.
Is it 9 o'clock? Wow.
9 o'clock and it's still very much light outside.
Then we're going to put the garlic and the chili over that, along with some fresh bay leaves. I'm just going to break them into pieces to get some surface area. And about 2 teaspoons, 2 or 3 teaspoons, depending on how you enjoy it, of black peppercorns. Probably that many, maybe not that many. Oh, we're going to use for the other ingredient too.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to lightly crack them just to open them up a little bit and get them all over the table. And then just in with about that much. We'll save that for the beetroot. And then I did wash my hands.
It smells really good.
And then we're just going to mix them and let that hang out for a little while the brine finishes up. Okay, so while that is marrying all the flavors together and the brine is going for that, we're going to just peel the beetroot quickly, if I can find my little knife. So we put the brine for the kohlrabi to one side. We're going to do the brine for the beetroot quickly. So about a cup of white sugar. Again with a white wine vinegar, we're going to do 2 cups. So let's do a little bit more. Don't know if it's going to make it for the jars. Let's put that and then just get that going. That also just needs to dissolve all the sugar and cook for about 5 minutes. And then we're just going to cut the beetroot to our desired slices or sizes. You can slice it, you can grate it. We like to have chunky bits. So we're basically going to just cut them into sort of 8. Rough, doesn't matter. It's preference, however you like it. Natalia did sanitize and boil the jars earlier, so they should be good to go. And then you just fill up the jars to the top. So once that's all dissolved and cooked for a few minutes, about 5 minutes, you turn off the heat. And then while it's there, we're going to add a teaspoon of salt. Okay, a teaspoon and a half. And then the black peppercorns just lightly cracked again. About 2 teaspoons of that. Oh well, we might as well do 2.5 to make up for the extra half a teaspoon of salt. Oh, that's quite potent. And then a couple of bay leaves. Just crush them lightly to release their oils. And then you just mix that together, and we're just going to let that sit while we finish up doing the beetroot. In hindsight, I should have done the kohlrabi before the beetroot, like a murder scene, but anyway, so we're going to fill these. As I say, try to get a little bit of everything, a bay leaf or 2, some peppercorns into each one just for the maximum flavor.
And you can eat the kohlrabi just like this.
You can eat it raw too,
raw.
yeah.
Looks good.
In a stir fry, coleslaw. With apple, apparently it works really nicely together too, like an apple slaw. There we go. We'll do that in another little jar of that just now. So now just to add the brine.
There we go.
So we're doing the kohlrabi first.
Can you see?
More or less. So that's the kohlrabi one. I'll just don't need a funnel for that. I hope we made enough brine. Oh, we're just going to make it. Perfect planning or luck, you decide. And while it's still quite warm. We can cap them. It just seals them nicely too. There we go. And that's the kohlrabi. So for the beetroot one, we're just going to take out the bay leaves and leave the peppercorns in. Let's see if our luck holds out like I did with the kohlrabi one. We could probably just top up with a kohlrabi one, they're very similar. Oh my word. Perfect planning. There we go. Some peppercorns.
Get all the flavors in there.
Yeah, you can do chili, your own combination too. You use the basic brine mix and then add in whatever you like.
And this mix is really good. We're still eating from last year's
Yeah,
batch.
we still got one that we need to open. Our moth, you had to get in there, didn't you? Luckily it's a pickle, should be okay. Today we're having a very popular Portuguese dessert called baba de Camelo.
In English, obviously known as camel drool. Don't know how they got the name.
Yeah, it's very weird. But yeah, it's a very quick, easy dessert to make if you can wait overnight while it stands in the fridge.
Definitely worth it.
Yes, we've obviously decorated it a little bit the traditional way, just sprinkle biscuits over the top. We've done the biscuits in the bottom and then just wafer and some seasonal fruit, the cherry and the red currants. But
So
yeah,
let's give it a go.
yeah. Very yummy.
Nice and light.
Yeah, the more traditional recipes, if you want, use more eggs. We like it a little bit on the thicker side, still very
More like
light.
a mousse.
The more eggs you use, obviously, the lighter and more mousse-like it would be, but we enjoy it like this. Very yummy.
It's a gosh de gusto. So definitely
For
give it
sure.
a try. Don't let the name
Put you off at all, yeah.
no.
And very quick and easy. Three ingredients, and then whatever you want to garnish it with, basically.
Yeah.
Enjoy.